Pedagogy is one of the oldest professions, the art of guiding the learners, which encompasses a variety of teaching techniques and methods for this process. Who is that person guiding the knowledge and transferring intentionally or in a haphazard way his or her values, beliefs, and ideas? The teacher. Through time, the role of the teacher has been important for the development of people on key aspects of life. As students spend most of the time of their early lives in schools, teachers become part of their family, their support on the process of growing up. During the colonial period, formal education had a poor development. The Catholic Church was in charge of the first schools in that period. In 1833, the Constitution recognized the freedom of teaching, which gave more responsibilities to the state. In 1920, the Constitution established the obligation of primary education. This was the starting point for kids to stay more time with their teachers. According to Elige Educar, a non-profit organization devoted to create awareness and highlight the importance of teachers in our society, states that a student spends 2,000 hours in front of a teacher during the school stage. I'm going to interview Maria, an ex-teacher of English from the 60s. I want to know if education was much different from nowadays, and her opinion about teachers and their duty. Hello, Maria. Tell me about your experience when teaching.
Hello, Vincent. Well, I worked in a high school during the 60s, so my experience as a teacher isn't too long. The, the school where I taught is the female high school, Santa Ana. It was very nice to work there, so it was a good experience for me. The students I taught belonged to 7th and 8th grades, so they were very young.
And tell me, what do you remember the most about the school?
What I remember most is the discipline of the school.
How many students were per class?
There were no more than 30 students per class.
And what kind of relationship did you have with them?
The relationship with my girls was very close and warm. They could approach me to inquire whatever they wanted to know or they needed.
When you were teaching in front of the class, could students make groups or talk in order to participate?
No, students didn't participate in groups during the class. They learned only by repeating, listening first, then repeating, memorizing, and writing. that was the way we had to teach.
Did you ever think about changing this class paradigm?
No, I never thought about that.
You mentioned it to me before that the school was strict. Do you think it has to do with that?
Maybe. But,
Why?
Because that was the system the school had.
Do you think that the educational system in that time fulfilled the development of a whole person? I mean, an integral person.
No, I don't think so, because education in that time delivered mainly knowledge to the students. The educational system was focused mainly in the teacher. It was not the students centered.
Would you like the pedagogical methods of your time had been changed as nowadays?
Of course, I would like to,
Why?
because teachers and students today have a lot of help, such as TV, computer, internet. Those make the learning or the teaching more active and interesting.
So, Maria, this is the final question. In your opinion, what is the role of the teacher?
The role of the teacher for me is firstly to deliver knowledge to the student. Secondly, to give him some tools in order to accomplish his goals. And finally, to help him to be a good person.
Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
Maybe, as Maria, there are a lot of teachers that didn't have the opportunity to be an active agent of change due to the school that is behind them or the system that only creates unfavorable conditions to establish a bond among students and teachers. There were a lot of unknown things for teachers. For instance, as Maria states, she didn't know any technology, moreover, any methods for improve their relationships with students and the participation of them. So nowadays we have those tools and we have to take advantage of them. Thank you for watching this documentary. If you want to be an agent of change, this is the time to take actions.